Lanark is a small town in the central belt of Scotland. The name is believed to come from the Cumbric Lanerc, meaning clear space, glade. Lanark is traditionally the county town of Lanarkshire, though there are several larger towns in the county. Lanark railway station and coach station have frequent services to Glasgow. There is little industry in Lanark and some residents commute to work in Glasgow and Edinburgh. Its shops serve the local agricultural community and surrounding villages. There is a large modern livestock auction market on the outskirts of the town. History: Lanark has served as an important market town since medieval times, and King David I made it a royal borough in 1140, giving it certain mercantile privileges relating to government and taxation. King David I realized that greater prosperity could result from encouraging trade. He decided to create a chain of new towns across Scotland. These would be centres of Norman civilization in a largely Celtic country, and would be established in such a way as to encourage the development of trade within their area. These new towns were to be known as burghs. Bastides were established in France for much the same reason. When a site had been selected for a new town, the king's surveyors would lay out an area for the town's market. Each merchant who came to the town was granted a plot of land bordering on the marketplace. These plots were known as feus or rigs. Each few in a borough was the same size, though the size varied between burghs. In forests in the north of Scotland, each few was 24 feet 10 inches wide and 429 feet deep. The layout of the feus in Lanark can still be easily seen between the north side of Lanark High Street and North Vennel, a lane which runs behind the feus. A motte and bailey castle was also constructed at the bottom of Castlegate. Lanark had 4 town gates: Westport, Eastport, Wellgate and Castlegate. Westport Gate was demolished in the 1770s. The first aviation meeting to be held in Scotland was held at Lanark Racecourse between 6 and 13 August 1910. This location was chosen because the land was relatively flat. The racecourse already had facilities for a paying public. There were stables to act as hangars for the aeroplanes, and the racecourse was accessible by both road and by rail, especially as the Caledonian Railway Company were prepared to construct a new station near the main entrance. The aeroplanes were transported to the meeting by rail, as aviation technology at the time was not advanced enough to safely fly there. The Lanark meeting took place shortly after a similar event in Bournemouth, at which Charles Rolls lost his life. Influenced by this, it was decided that no aircraft would fly closer than 300 yards away from the spectators. For the first time, aeroplanes were accurately timed over a straight measured distance, allowing the first world records to be set, covering flights over 1 mile. The meeting was described by the Aero magazine as the most successful yet held in Britain. A permanent military presence was established in the town with the completion of Winston Barracks in 1930. Governance: the electorate in Lanark form part of various different constituencies. In local elections, they are part of the Clydesdale North constituency and elect representatives to South Lanarkshire Council. The most recent elections, held in 2012, saw Ed Archer, Catherine McClymont and Vivian Shaw elected to represent the constituency. In elections to the Scottish Parliament, Lanark elects its representatives as part of the Clydesdale constituency, and also elects 7 additional list members of Parliament as part of the South of Scotland region. The current Clydesdale MSP is Aileen Campbell, SNP, who defeated the Labour incumbent Karen Gillan in the 2011 election after Gillan had held the seat since 1999. In Westminster elections, Lanark is part of the Lanark and Hamilton East constituency. Labour MP Jimmy Hood has represented the area in Parliament since 1987. In elections to the European Parliament, Lanark is part of the Scotland constituency which elects 6 MEPs. Landmarks. Visitors to the town can visit the nearby World Heritage Site of New Lanark, close to the Falls of Clyde, the Corehouse Estate and the Scottish Wildlife Trust's Corehouse Nature Reserve. The Lanark Museum is located in Westport, inside the YMCA building. A large boating lake, Lanark Loch, adjoins Lanark Golf Club, which has a lovely and historic 18-hole course for more experienced golf players and a 9-hole golf course. The former racecourse now offers pony trekking activities. The town's Castle Bank Park lies near the former site of Lanark Castle, and allows access to the River Clyde and the Clyde Walkway. An ornate gas lamp, known as the Provost's Lamp, stands at the bottom of the High Street. The lamp used to be placed outside the home of whoever was Provost of Lanark at the time. One of the churches in the town bears the name of the old Church of St. Kentigern, who set up many medieval churches in the Scottish Lowlands, including Glasgow, and died c. 612 AD. The town's cemetery stands on the site of the old Church of St. Kentigern, and includes many Covenanter graves. St. Nicholas Parish Church stands at the bottom of the High Street. The church bell is believed to date from 1110, and may be one of the oldest church bells in the world. It was moved from the old Church of St. Kentigern when St. Nicholas's Church was built in 1774. It has been recast 4 times, including 1659 and 1983. There is an 8-foot statue of William Wallace in the steeple. This was sculpted by Robert Forrest, from an ancient drawing in the possession of the Society of Antiquaries. Lanark Day. This historic background forms the basis for the Lanark celebrations, which take place each year for 1 week in June. Local primary school children elect a Lanark Queen and Court, and a Lord Cornet is chosen from a local businessman. On the Monday night, the perambulation of the marchers takes place, when townspeople turn out to walk around half the town boundary, following the Lord Cornet's past and present as they inspect the border stones. Traditionally, the townspeople carry birks, which are small branches of birch trees cut from the woods at the Glenburnie estate. This tradition was started in 1948 by Joseph Doolan, whose family owned the land. The other half of the boundary is inspected on the Wednesday night, again led by the Lord Cornet, accompanied by many local riders who participate in the riding of the marches, locally referred to as the Ride Out. On the Thursday morning, schools and other organizations parade before the Lanark Queen in themed dress, accompanied by pipe bands. The best floats win prizes, and after the parade the crowning of the Queen takes place on a temporary stand erected in front of St. Nicholas Church, under the statue of William Wallace. The Queen holds a reception party in the town's Memorial Hall on the Thursday and Friday nights, where children perform songs and dances. Music. Pipe bands. Lanark and Amp District Pipe Band previously had 2 units which competed in competitions run by the Royal Scottish Pipe Band Association, 1 competing in Grade 4B and 1 in Grade 3A, having been upgraded from 4B to 4A to 3B to 3A in consecutive years from 2004. In the 1980s, the band competed as high as Grade 2, and as of 2011, the band is thriving in numbers and competes in Grade 4B. The Music in Lanark program began in 2000 with the aim of bringing a variety of the highest quality live music to the town. In the first 5 years there were 3 classical concerts, 1 jazz concert and 1 traditional music concert. The program continues to grow. Climate. As with the rest of the British Isles and Scotland, Lanark experiences a maritime climate with cool summers and mild winters. In terms of the local climate profile, Lanark's inland, rural, river valley setting means frost is very common, having been recorded in all months. Typically almost 100 nights will report a frost per year, and even in a statistically average year the temperature should fall to as low as -14.3 degrees Celsius on the coldest night. Notable Lanarkians. William Wallace is one of the most notable people in Lanark's history. A key leader in the Scottish Wars of Independence, he is known to have first drawn his sword to free his native land in Lanark in 1297, killing the English Sheriff Hazelrig. First-year pupils at Lanark Grammar School study Wallace and the Wars of Independence in detail. An 8-foot statue of Wallace sits on St. Nicholas Church at the town cross dating back to 1817, which was sculpted by Carl Lukeman Robert Forrest. Other important figures in Lanark history include George Grey, born in Lanark in the April 1620, a POW from the Battle of Dunbar, Durham Cathedral survivor, and New World refugee upon arrival to Berwick, Maine. His parents were Robert Grey and Margaret Medea. Margaret Agnes Bunn, actress. William Smellie, obstetrician. Lord Braxfield, High Court judge. John Glaister, forensic scientist. The rallying family of Jimmy, Alistair and Colin McRae. Robert Douglas, Scotland and former Celtic FC goalkeeper. Stephen McManus, Scotland and Middlesbrough defender. Walter Smith, Scotland and Rangers manager. Henry Smith, Scotland and Hearts goalkeeper. Billy Ritchie, rock music's first lead keyboard player, born in Lanark. Lee Miller, Carlisle United striker. Dougie Imrie, St Mirren midfielder, started career with Lanark United. Stephen Pearson, Derby County midfielder, formerly of Motherwell. Johnny Reid, a Scottish Canadian country music singer who has 2 platinum albums and 1 gold album in Canada. Darren Smith, a former Motherwell winger. Stuart Griessen, footballer on Rangers FC. John Downey, inside forward for Manchester United 1949 to 1953. Shireen Cutt-Kelvin, former member of British girl group Neon Jungle. Schools. Primary schools. There are 3 main primary schools in Lanark. Lanark Primary School 1. Robert Owen Memorial Primary School 1. St Mary's Primary School 2. 1 indicates non-denominational school. 2 Roman Catholic schools. Secondary schools. There is now 1 secondary school in Lanark, Lanark Grammar School, a non-denominational school. Previously there was St Mary's RC High School, which closed in the 1990s. Religion. The religious buildings of Lanark are exclusively Christian, but cover a wide array of Christian denominations. At present, the following religious buildings still exist and remain in use: Christ Church, EU Congregational Church, Gospel Hall, Greyfriars Parish Church, Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses, St Mary's Roman Catholic Church, St Nicholas Parish Church. The following buildings remain in Lanark, but are no longer used for religious purposes. Murray Chapel, in a state of disrepair. This church is within the council's St Catherine's Cemetery. St Kentigern's Church, converted to and now used as office space and residences. St Kentigern's Church, now in ruins. This church sits in the council-run St Kentigern's Cemetery. Finally, these buildings no longer exist. St Leonard's Church, space now occupied by Job Centre plus office. Gallery.